And everyone, welcome back to another video, and as you can see from the thumbnail, we'll be talking about Starfield, in particular the drama that's going around with the news that there's not as much hype, there's not as much advertising, there's not as much people talking about it, but it's far from the fact that this is actually the case. Dreamcast Guy has just come out with a video saying that no one cares about Starfield, because why would he not make a video like this? Now, I do want to make it clear that, he is playing the algorithm. Now, there's no denying that he's a PlayStation guy, right? As much as he wants to deny it, he is a PlayStation guy. But he can basically, what he's doing right now is playing the algorithm. He's spewing hate because that gets him engagement. And if he's right, he will ride the bandwagon saying, see, I told you so. But if he's wrong, then he'll just come out and say, well, you know what? I'll humbly take the L and move on. Either way, it's a win-win situation for him. And for many people, this is the way they've built their channels. I, on the other hand, don't like doing this. I don't like hating on stuff for the sake of hating. And, well, my numbers show, not just from this channel, but if you look at my main channel, the numbers there show it. The original game I covered was Anthem. I really liked Anthem. I think it was a really good game. It had great potential, but BioWare and EA squandered it. But the actual core of the game was really fun and was a really good game. But because I wasn't bashing it, I actually was getting death threats, I was getting hate messages on Twitter, private messages on my Discord. It was quite bad. But at the end of the day, people want you to hate games because negativity fuels engagement. So in my opinion, there is an element of this with Dreamcast Guy, because he is playing to that. I mean, at least that's what I'm hoping, because if it's not, well, it's kind of worrying that someone of that age is kind of this butthurt over a game not coming to PlayStation when many games haven't come over to Xbox. And that leads me to my next point. The amount of people that are so distraught and upset that Starfield is skipping PlayStation 5 and not coming out on a PlayStation platform and going straight and exclusive to Xbox and PC is astronomical. I don't think a day goes by where I don't see a discussion about Starfield and how the game should have been a PlayStation exclusive. I mean, they're still going on that bandwagon saying, well, at least we would have made it 1 year exclusive. Excuse me, if you make it a 1 year exclusive, no one cares after a year. It's not like an MMO like Final Fantasy XIV, where it lives on and continues to breed expansions. No, this is a single player RPG. Will it be as big as Skyrim and sell, or not sell, but release like 15 versions of the game? Who knows? I mean, I know Bethesda are hoping it will release 15 to 20 versions, just like Skyrim did. But at the end of the day, we don't know that. And that information is, for the future. But what stands here right now is the game could be dead within a year. Who cares about the game after a year? And it's the same with any other game that comes out. You want to play those games here and the now. And then people wonder why sales are impacted a year down the line or 2 years down the line when the game is released. Just look at Ratchet and Clank. The game released on PC 2 years later and it's had poor sales. Had it had released at the same time as PlayStation 5 on PC, can you tell me that the sales on PC wouldn't have been better than they are now? Of course they would have been. It doesn't take a genius to see that. But the Sony fanboys are still going on. Well, it may have impacted console sales. No one is buying Ratchet and Clank for PlayStation 5. You're not going out and buying Ratchet and Clank. And even people that have tried to defend that notion that they did ended up finally confirming that they bought it for future games like God of War and so forth. No one would buy a PS5 just for Ratchet and Clank. And even if you came out and said that you was in my comment section, I still wouldn't believe you. That game is niche, it's a platformer, it's not a console seller. Starfield is a console seller. God of War Ragnarok is a console seller. Halo used to be a console seller. Elder Scrolls 6 will be a console seller. These are big, big names with big, big games. The Last of Us, Uncharted are console sellers. Ratchet just isn't. But, I decided to look around the good old place of Twitter, which has really started to bug me as of late, and we've come with a lot of information. But before I continue the video, if you have found this video informative or just useful or just enjoying the discussion and want to see more content like this, do let me know in the comment section below. Do hit that like and subscribe. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and does get the channel noticed and the video passed out to more people, again, via that silly algorithm that they keep on saying. Right, so on with the video. So as we can see here, we have Garrett Atkins. From a digital marketer's perspective, this is sound data. Starfield is 100% dominating Spider-Man 2 in regard to interest worldwide in search engine. Sources: I own an award-winning digital marketing agency with a focus on SEO, PPC, and search. And if we highlight this, I tweet about video games, Xbox, PS, Switch, and business. Founder, Game Pass Tracker, PS Plus Tracker, NSO Tracker, View Media USA, Half Coast Studio, and at Forbes. So those are his places of employment or work he does. But we have this bit of information here. So as you can see here, Starfield is in the blue. It's dwarfing that of Spider-Man 2, right? Now, why is this important? Why am I showing this information? Because apparently Xbox isn't advertising Starfield enough. Now, in my opinion, I don't think they really need to advertise it anymore. I mean, here in the UK, you're finding Starfield branded drinks, Starfield branded snacks that you can buy. It's all over the place. It's not on billboards and stuff like that, but it's on everyday items that you will actually see on your everyday journey. It's not something that you have to go out and search for, like on a bus or a billboard or in a tunnel. It's on everyday products, so you're seeing it every day. I mean, even my brother recently asked, is Starfield coming to PlayStation? Because he's a PlayStation guy. And I said, no, but you've got Game Pass on your TV, so you can play it through there. And he's like, oh, great, thanks. That's sorted then. But if we're looking at these, you can see this, the way Starfield is still, despite the spike, I assume that's when they had their presentation, it's still just way above. There was no Starfield news up to this point, and this must have been when they showed their presentation. And over here you can see the global dominance of Starfield over Spider-Man. Now, I don't understand why they're comparing it to Spider-Man. I know that's the only game coming out this year for PlayStation in terms of first-party exclusives, but one, they're different games, and two, Spider-Man is going to be a good game, regardless of how you actually want to put it. Oh god, here come the Sony dudes. But if we, check out the Starfield thing, for those of you that don't know, if you can play it on Game Pass, which means that it's play anywhere. So you can play it on any device with a Game Pass subscription, even on your PC. And if you get the premium bolt-on for $34.99, I think it's $29.99 in the UK, you basically get to play it 5 days early. So there's that. But people are saying that there isn't enough exposure. I mean, people have created stuff like this. This is the whole ecosystem for Starfield. That's huge. And that's just of what we know, right? All this was derived from one trailer, and they only had 5 seconds of footage. It didn't I don't believe this is the whole thing, but just imagine, this is just 5 seconds of footage and people are doing this. It's not that people aren't talking about it. It's just every time the PlayStation fanboys are talking about it, they're spewing hate. Here's my good friend Ginger Prime. So the Starfield drama has already started to heat up online. Let's dive into. And he talks about how what he's going to be disappointed with is in regards to how every single PlayStation fanboy is going to be looking for the tiniest of things to start lolling about and posting about when it comes to Starfield. Now, it's a Bethesda game. They're called Bugfesta for a reason, right? We all know that the game is not going to launch bug-free. In fact, if it launched bug-free, I'd probably go and play a lottery ticket because I'd probably win. That's how sure I am that this game will have bugs. And in all honesty, some of the bugs in Bethesda games actually make the experience. It's almost like a signature trademark. Now, I'm not just trying to brush this off. The simple fact is, it's not until like a year before these games start to iron out. It's going to be buggy as hell. But will the core of the game work? Yes. Will it be an enjoyable experience? Yes. Will it have mods to help enhance that experience? Yes. But with the Dreamcast guy, everyone is now bashing on about him. And I think, no, he doesn't have the thing that I actually posted. But he says he's confused by the lack of Starfield marketing. It doesn't really need it. There's also talk about how it's not going to be playable at Gamescom. Which Bethesda game or ZeniMax game was playable at Gamescom? When have they ever done this? They've never done this. So, why change it now? Why change old habits? Now, they're talking about the game hasn't gone gold yet. Well, guess what? The certification is done by Microsoft. They can literally go to the last day before going gold. Will the game be available as a physical media? Yes, so that does mean that they need to give it some time before they can actually make those discs available. But if it's digital only, which I believe it might be actually, I'm hoping there's a physical version of the game. But as with PC games, it's a non-regulated market. You can release games any way or shape you want on PC. There's no certification there. And with Xbox releasing a first-party game, the only people that are going to certify it are themselves. So they can do that on the 11th hour if they absolutely need to. So there's no real problem there. Although, like I said, if they are planning on releasing disc copies of the game, you kind of want them to, make a move on because they're running out of time to get those games to the shop. As you can see, August 31st, the premium, September 6th is the release date, or is it September 12th? New and owned IP, Day 1 Game Pass, Xbox ecosystem exclusive, Xbox Play Anywhere. So you can play it on, I'm assuming it's going to be playable on GeForce Now, especially because it's going to be through Steam, but you can play it through Steam, Game Pass, PC Game Pass. You've got multiple options. I really don't see the issue here outside of people just wanting to basically hate on the game, bash on the game, and the level of excitement here. The Starfield Premium Edition launches 5 days early, but it also includes the first story expansion, Shattered Space, and some other digital items. As a fan of RPGs and sci-fi, and me as well, because I love Star Citizen, yes, I know, the game is never coming out, boohoo, but it's the closest thing I've got to living out my dream as a space hunter. This game is literally what I've been waiting for my whole life. Now, there is Squadron 42 coming as well at some point, if it ever gets released by, from the devs of Star Citizen, and that looks freaking amazing, but we still have no news of that. Again, Reforged Media, Reforged Gaming, he's a huge PlayStation-centric dude, again, pointing out that Starfield not playable at Gamescom, and he's basically going to start bashing it in this video, which is why I'm not even bothering to watch it. But, ZeniMax have never done games at Gamescom to be playable. They just haven't done that. They want people to experience it in its best form when it's coming out. Again, here, J-Dub hasn't gone gold yet. I've already gone over this. This guy's an idiot. He clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. But again, he's only doing this for engagement. A lot of PlayStation people are doing it for engagement. Does it need more advertising? Maybe. I don't think it could hurt. It's Xbox's biggest game, but Microsoft has always been terrible at advertising. But does it need more advertising? I think it's had enough as it is. The showcase it did was more than enough. But, as the saying goes, it's never too much when it comes to advertising. They could have done a little bit more, I'll admit that. But at the same time, considering the game is free on Game Pass, they're not going to have any shortage of players. That game is already branded all over your dashboard as soon as you log in. It's in your face. There's no way you can go that you won't see Starfield. I don't know. I just don't think it's as big as an issue and drama as people are making it out to be. I think PlayStation fans are genuinely just trying to stoke the flames because they're so butthurt at the fact that they're not getting Starfield. And the only way that they can get Starfield is either pimping out their PC to play it, hoping that it's going to come onto GeForce Now, or subscribing to Xbox Game Pass, which, God forbid, hell will freeze over before they do that. Or at least that's what they'll tell you while they're playing on their Xbox at home. Sony fans and Sony influencers talk more about Starfield than Xbox and PC gamers. Guys, just buy an Xbox or pimp your PC. Exactly what I was saying. Exactly. And this is the picture I was talking about. Why is Xbox not talking about Starfield? They are talking about Starfield. They haven't stopped talking about Starfield. We are less than 1 month from launch, and it seems like all we have is silence. No, you have more than silence. They've been releasing little trailers. They've been releasing little skits. They've been releasing little videos, all in, to hype up Starfield. And I've actually watched this video. It's filled with nothing but nonsense. And at the end, he turns around and says, well, if I'm wrong and the game is great, then I'll just take the L. But if I'm right, I'm going to run a lap of parade to prove that I'm right. Basically playing the YouTube algorithm. That is all he's doing. Cut the crap, Dreamcast guys. Stop with the lies and bashing Xbox and Starfield. Stick to your PlayStation. Real gamers don't spread negativity. I think there's a difference between negativity and constructive feedback, but there's that. How's that for marketing? This is what I'm talking about. Drinks. This is what we have in the UK. And I see a lot of people buying Lucozade just for a chance to win a copy of the game and stuff like that. Yep. This is in our supermarkets in the UK. And I mean, it's Starfield all over, right? And look, I didn't actually know it was on our buses, but it is actually advertised. Again, they're advertising it through Lucozade, but it's still advertising. So it's pretty silly for them to go down this route. It's just another way for them to bash it. But I did want to show this last clip here because I thought it was really funny, and I will end the video there. I don't know why this makes me laugh so much, but I thought it was quite funny. It was really well done. I don't know. I thought that was really funny. But yeah, let me know what you think about Starfield because I'm really excited for it. I'm going to be playing it day one. Not sure if I'll be streaming it on this channel or if I'll be streaming it on my main channel or over at Twitch. Feel free to check me out on either. But yeah, hopefully you're excited for Starfield too. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.